in this computer. All right, cool. Take two on this. So, so we did the thing for Mother's Day, and it was a pretty big success. A lot of people were really excited about seeing all the different faces on worship. And so we really, well, it's unrealistic to get everybody in right now. We wanted to come up with a way to make sure that everybody could get involved. And so what we're planning on doing, actually, can you guys mute yourselves unless you're talking? That way people don't have a problem hearing stuff later.
Not sure where it's coming from.
Let me see. So we wanted to figure out a way to implement like everybody and get everybody on the screen at the same time. And while it's kind of unrealistic to do that in person right now, we think Aaron had this idea of coming up with this way to do what we did on Mother's Day and basically superimpose people on video screens behind the live worship that's taking place. And so I have a sample to show you that I got today that looks really cool, just to give you an idea of what we're going to be doing for the next month. So I will now share my screen. Cool. Can you guys all see that? Thumbs up, thumbs down.
Yeah, I see it.
Cool. All right, let me see. Well, then you saw Zoom giving me a hard time about recording my screen. So I don't know if it's recording the screen, but I'll send this too. So this is what it's going to look like. Obviously, these videos aren't synced. Your presence is my shelter. Your presence is my victory. I think there's a close-up shot here too at some point. Well, that doesn't really give you any context for the TV, but that's what it'll look like. Which I think is going to be pretty cool, especially if we make the videos as good as they were on Mother's Day. So we're all pretty excited. This week is going to be the first test drive of this. We have one set recorded in this fashion. And so this week, we're going to kind of test drive it and produce it just to see if it works. And then we have plans to record a bunch of them at once, which I'm going to go over in a little bit. And so that's basically the overview. That's what we're going to be doing for the next month. What the workflow is going to look like is that this week, everybody on the worship team, I've kind of like doled out assignments for the 3 songs that are in this set. And everybody is going to, I'm requesting that everybody play on one song. And so you don't have to worry about learning the whole set. You just have to worry about taking one video for one song and playing them. And so you're going to get those tracks as well as the assignments tonight. And then I need the videos by midnight on Tuesday. So that's 4 or 5 days to do it. In the future, that's just for this week. In the future, so next week, we're aiming to record on Tuesday. And so if we do that next week, you're going to have the sets and the assignments and the tracks for the whole month on Tuesday. And the videos for the sets will be due the Tuesday before the set airs on Sunday. Does that make sense? So like you'll get a whole month's out at a time, but if you're recording for the 3rd worship set, which is like the end of June, that one won't be due until the Tuesday beforehand. They give a little bit more of a buffer time so you don't have to do like all these different songs at once. Does that make sense? Cool. Recording procedure, and I'm going to send you, I have this note thing, what I'm reading off of. I'm going to send this to you guys later so you can come back and look at all these notes again. And we'll have a little time for Q&A after we get through this, but we're pretty much done. The rest of it is just recording procedure, like how to record your videos. And so we went over a little bit last time, if you participated in the Mother's Day thing, where basically the track is going to start and you're going to hear audio with the performance, a little guide, and then a click track. And so the first thing you're going to hear is a clap. That's how it's going to start. And the idea is that when you record your videos, you start your video and you clap with the audio. And that helps me to sync it up later, or whoever's doing the video sync up, it helps us to sync that up later so we don't have to kind of do guesswork. It gives us like a starting point for where to sync it. You're going to then, like after you clap, you're going to be like worship ready. So just kind of assume like have the on stage mentality. Like once you clap, you're on stage. And so whatever you have to do to be like worship ready. And then and even though it's going to probably be like 4 or 5 seconds after the clap before the audio actually starts. Does that make sense so far? Cool. And so then you're going to record your video for the whole entire duration of the song, even if you aren't singing or playing. So if the song like ends on a down chorus and you are singing, but then you like don't want to aren't singing in that part, that's okay, but keep your video going, and you're actually going to hear a cue that says stop at the very end. It's going to be very jarring, me recording right into my laptop mic going stop. And that's the point where it's safe to, you're off stage now, you can, get out of the worship posture and press end on your video. Does that make sense? So you'll get a clap to start. There'll be a count in that says intro, 2, 3, 4 for when the music's about to start. And then at the end, you're going to hear stop. And that's the cue to stop your video. Besides that, and this is the part that I kind of wanted to take some time to go over. And I actually figured we could like test run this out like on the Zoom call, what your video should look like. And so last time we said instrumentalists were going to be horizontal, and then singers were going to be vertical, up and down. For this time, since we're going to be projected on the TV screen, all of the videos have to be filmed horizontally. So how you see me, Kev, Noah's boxes right now, that's how all the videos have to look. And last time there was some wiggle room because I was putting it together and making a collage kind of thing. But now that it's on a TV, if the video doesn't look this specific way, then we're not going to be able to use it. And so we're going to be a little stricter on the videos this time. So horizontal videos, you want like a little bit of headroom in your video, but you want to be close up. So the way I'm postured right now is a good distance away, like if you're singing. So like Hannah Cassidy, like this is how your screen should look. Like it should be horizontal, little bit of headroom, but close enough that I can see your eyes, I can see your face, I can see your facial expressions, and it's probably only going to be part of your torso up. Does that make sense? Let me see, my phone keeps locking up on me. And I want to do this in the right order so I'm not wasting anybody's time. If you're a singer, basically what you want to do is listen to the audio in a headphone or in multiple headphones. Earbuds are better if you can, whatever looks the smallest for video. You want to listen in one and then record in another source. And so what you don't want to do, especially if you're a singer, is you don't want to record a video that has the click track audio in it. Does that make sense? You don't want to, like when you're recording, you don't want that click track and that audio to be in your recorded video. And we didn't have a problem with that last time. This is just a reminder. Instrumentalists, it's going to be a little different because for singers, it's easy just to sing into your iPhone mic, but playing an instrument is a little different. And so there's really 2 options for how you record your audio and videos. The first option is if you are familiar with working with a digital audio workspace, like I know Kev, you are. If you're familiar with that, you can record your audio and video like separately. Like you can record your audio on the workspace, but just make sure that you're videoing the take that you actually played. You don't have to worry about syncing up your audio and video. If you do it that way, just send me both and I can sync it up later. Does that make sense so far? So if you can record your audio on a computer like really well, if you're going like direct in or something like that, just get a video of that same take. Don't even worry about syncing it. Just send them both to me and I can take care of the rest. If you are not familiar with working with a like digital audio workspace like that, or you don't have one, that's totally okay. What you're going to do is you're just going to want to get the best sound possible with recording your instrument out loud in your room. So if you're a guitar player and you have a guitar amp, or if you're a piano player and you're playing an acoustic piano, or you have a little piano amp, just make sure it's in the same room with you. And before you record your full take, just do a couple videos where you're testing to see how good the audio is. Does that make sense? Because like sometimes if your amp is too loud, it might not be too loud in your head, but your phone mic might pick it up like crazy and really like compress and squish the signal, and it's going to sound really bad. Or the other way, it might sound loud enough to your ears, but in the video, it might be too low on whatever amp you're using. So just my advice would be to do a couple test runs before you record the actual video. last thing, if you're an instrumentalist, you're going to want to have, as much as you can, about 3/4 of your instrument in your frame with you. And so while singers, we want to see your face because that's where the action's happening. We want to see your expression with a little bit of headroom. Instrumentalists will probably need to be a little further away because if I'm this close, you only get to see like a little bit of my guitar. So if I was recording guitar, this is a really good shot because it shows you most of the guitar. It shows you what my hands are doing. And that really is what's important. So if you have a little bit more headroom, if you're a little bit further away, that's okay. A piano, you don't need to get the whole thing, but I think a good guide would be try to have your hands and a little bit of headroom. So you don't need to get the whole entire piano if you're not using it, but just try to get where your hands are. Try to make sure your hands are in the frame the whole time and don't be like super close. Just try to leave a little bit of headroom. Does that make sense? Cool. I know that was a lot of information. And again, I'm going to send you a copy of all of this. I have this all written down in my notes, and I'm going to forward this to you. But at this time, I just want to open it up to Q&A because there might be something that I'm missing, or maybe you have a question on a specific thing, on whatever is going on, like with your situation specifically. And this is the time that I can go ahead and answer those if I can. So does anybody have any questions? Cassidy, what's up?
Is actually Darian.
Yeah, okay.
So when I do the drums, do you want me to send you the stems of the drums?
Quasi's mix was really good last time. So honestly, like that was fine. I'm probably not going to mix the drums better than he does.
Okay, because that was just a raw, like straight out of the DAW mix.
Was it? It was really good. Like that, I think the mix, I mean, if you want to mix it or mess with it, cool. I was pretty satisfied with that drum sound, and so that's okay. Either way, if you want to mess with it and send me stems, that's cool. I can take that. If you want to send me just the drums, that's cool too.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. Anybody else? Okay, cool. So I'll message everybody privately for assignments, but I wrote them down. It's going to take me like a second to get to my picture. And actually, I have an example of the audio, so I'll show you that first. Let me see. I'm going to try playing something out loud. Tell me if you can hear it.
Welcome to the bridge.
Can you hear that?
Intro to.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
So you're going to hear a clap at the beginning, and then you're going to hear something like this. There was the clap, but I'll make it loud. I'll make it louder.
Hey guys, welcome to the bridge. Let's sing together. Intro, 2, 3, 4.
So that's what the intro will sound like. That's really for instrumentalists more so than singers. If you're like playing the keys or drums on Valley and you're starting right with the instruments, that's more for you. I will say the click goes through pretty much all of the song, but on Valley, they don't go all the way through with the click. And so Darian especially, like if you're an instrumentalist, it might be a good idea to wait for when Darian sends me the drums, I can send that back to you. I'll have to look at, actually, I'll look at who's on Valley because I don't know if any other instrumentalists are on Valley except for Darian. So I'll get back to you on that. But yeah, for Darian, they didn't make it all the way through the song with the click. And so I stopped the click where they got off. And so you're good enough to follow them. And so I got you probably 3/4 of the way with the click. And so at the end of the track, this is what you're going to hear. And it's going to sound like awkwardly long.
Stop.
So it would feel unnatural to go that long, but just to be safe with video cutting, that's how long we want you guys to go, all the way until you hear stop. I think that's probably it. I'll send out the song assignments in the group text and text you guys individually about those. And I'll send out those tracks to you tonight as well. What I'll do is I have them up on Google Drive. And what I'll do is I'll send you the Google Drive link for the song that you're assigned. And I want to say this too, like I would love for everybody to be involved in this, especially this week too. But this week the turnaround is a little quicker. And so if for some reason like you're not going to be able to get it done, whether it's tonight, you can let me know, or, you know, whenever, just let me know. That's okay. Like I know it's crazy right now. People are still working, you know, there's all kinds of crazy stuff going on. And so if you can't get it done, don't feel bad about that for any reason. It doesn't mean you're out for the whole entire thing if you can't do it this week. So just let me know, okay? Cool. That's all. Cassidy, Darian, you raising your hand again?
Yeah, I do have a question.
Yeah.
Would there be a way for you to be able to kind of like schedule us through Planning Center and give us the songs that way?
Through Planning Center? The files might be too big, but I can give it a shot. Yeah, I can give that a shot.
Or at least like just for scheduling so that we know what songs we're going to be on.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll give that a shot. Planning Center services have been glitchy the past couple of weeks, but they might have fixed what was going on with it now. So like, let me look into it. And I think that would actually probably be a really good way to schedule it if I can make it work. Good idea. Anybody else? Cool. All right. Well, thank you guys for being here. And thank you guys who are watching this recording. If you have any questions and you're watching this, or you think of any questions later, guys, you know, feel free to text me, call me whenever. I'm up pretty late, so I'm usually by my phone. So that's about it. And we're just going to pray really quick before we go our separate ways. God, we just thank you just for this season of drawing closer to you, God. And we just ask that you would help us to be a blessing to other people in this season through our gifts, through serving, through leading our friends and family and even strangers in worship. God, in this time that we need it most. So we're humbled that we get to be a part of this, and we just thank you for what you're doing in our community and in your church. God, we just pray that everything we would do would be just to bring you glory. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Awesome seeing you guys. I'll talk to you all pretty soon.
Sounds good.
Take it easy.